average.
He's got a cool character design.
I think he's a strong 70%, like mid of the road, but a little above average type of side, challenge.
He's literally the second main character. He's literally
that's what I'm saying.
But he's a burger.
The second main character.
He's a burger. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He's mid for that tier of people. He's mid.
All right. For the people that's watching, right?
Oh,
welcome to Urban Anime. We just kind of started. We just jumped into it.
Slander alert. This is slander.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot
of fraud detecting.
I just want to let you know because there's a lot of fraudulence there's a lot of cap out there, and my cap detector went off, and I got to address it. But before we get there, right? The discussion is Megumi, right? And being the worst number 2.
He's a burger. I mean, I'm not even passionate. It's true. It's just he's a flat out burger.
He's the worst decent. Number 2.
I would say the worst. I'd say he's mid. He's a mid number 2. Like in comparison to most number 2s, he's really not cooking. But
okay. Before we even get any further, I'm gonna just drop my favorite number 2 all time is not Vegeta, even though I think Vegeta is a respectable number 2. It's Hiei. I think Hiei is a great number 2. Yeah, Hiei is probably my favorite number 2 all time. Great portrayal.
On business all time.
They never made
time Hiei was on that screen. He stood on business. He kept Yusuke like, yo, you gonna let him talk to you like that?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
a good follow-up number 2 is always keeping number 1 in check. That's the thing. Like, if you're not gonna get stronger, I'm pushing past you.
That's what I'm saying. Type shit.
Megumi is not that character.
Zoro.
Shit, Sasuke's a good 2. Sasuke's a good 2.
I gotta stop you there. That's where we divert.
Hold up. Y'all not gonna say first half of Naruto Sasuke. I'm talking about Sasuke up to the Gokage arc. Fuck the later half of Naruto, because I don't give a shit about that. I'm talking about up until the Gokage arc summit shit. That nigga Sasuke, especially how they was going back and forth between storylines. It was
the end of the Sound Ninja arc.
Nigga said the Sound Ninja. Hold on, no way.
Everything after that point, bro, burgers, bro. I don't want to say.
You about to make me defend this bitch. You about to make me defend this bitch ass nigga.
All right, wait. How far would you say up until he beat Gaara? Would you say that far? I'm not putting him past that, bro.
I know we shit on Shippuden all day, and I'm here for it. I'm here for the slander. All right, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
However, that nigga Sasuke up until the Gokage arc was doing some shit. He was doing some shit. He cooked Daidara by himself. That nigga Daidara was so cooked, he said to himself, if my 6 fucking kilometer megaton bomb don't work against this nigga, I'm a burger for real. Didn't work.
It didn't work. He found out the truth.
I just want to interject with a quick question, and I'll let you go.
Yes.
Who else could he not beat? Daidara.
Who could he not beat?
Oh.
There's a few people he could not beat. Straight up lose to. Like he's
losing. Other endgame Itachi. I mean, Uchihas that made it to the end of the show.
He beats zero Uchihas, right? We can just eliminate anyone with the last name Uchiha.
Flat out, I would say yes.
Right.
I would say he beats more people than he loses to. I'll give him that much.
He's an Akatsuki member. He's the weakest
one. He's the no. Sasori is right.
He's a fodder killer.
Sasori.
Y'all think okay? Now we get into different territory because y'all think Sasori is genuinely weaker, or is it a bad matchup? It's a bad matchup. I think Sasori cooks.
He's the worst.
I think Sasori cooks Deidara.
I think Sasori might.
I think Sasori doesn't beat Deidara. I think that's one of the people Deidara beats. Yeah.
He don't even need to be close to this nigga.
If he just drops bombs infinitely on his
but if what does it matter? One grain of sand grazes you, like you're poisoned. Like we established that sand is crazy.
This grain of sand has to make it across 500 bombs.
It can hit you by accident.
To beat longer than that.
Creating debris now. If you put a sand
these
over
niggas
a bomb.
meet up. That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's so many ways that you could genuinely beat Daidara in that scenario. Only because Sasori has too many tools. That nigga's ass, but he's versatile as fuck. I don't know. That's a bad matchup.
With 100 puppets, he could always just move himself around in a bunch.
I'll give it this. It really depends on how they approach the fight, right? If they pull up and Deidara takes it serious from the jump, there's no way Sasori wins. There's nothing Sasori can do. If from the jump he just becomes a bomb off rip.
But then that would mean Sasori takes a referral from the jump and hits him with like high speed water pressure and like
that's the difference, right? Because if they're taking it serious from the jump, right, that means Deidara is flying in, dropping a bomb, and flying out.
But it's like
that's all he does.
Sasori doesn't really do like that. Most ninja can't. And I feel like Sasori can though. He doesn't even need to have direct confrontation with niggas for the most part.
True. Half the time it's like a satellite.
You don't even got to be there for real.
I don't believe in the puppetry.
He is a burger. Listen, I'm with you. He is definitely a burger. But I don't. It's crazy. I'm thinking about it now. The weakest Akatsuki member is definitely Hidan because without like if you just catch him, burger.
He's just got a gimmick. Like it's
gimmick,
really,
and it's okay.
It's pretty gimmicky. Yeah,
it's
gimmicky.
Once
you get past the gimmick,
it's kind of just cut him to pieces and bury him somewhere.
If you're fast in this nigga in straight up taijutsu, if you got better hands than him, he's not winning the fight. Pretty much. Like if you have confirmed better hands,
no follow up.
And he's pretty slow too, right? Yeah. I take it back. Hidan's the worst.
Hidan's definitely the worst.
Sasori's definitely right there.
It's
Sasori, you're right there though.
It's a
I promise you, you're right fucking there. I've got nothing but hate this episode.
But nah, fucking that guy's not beating. He's beating most Jonin.
No way. Yeah. He beats Asuma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
Asuma got done by Hidan. I'm sorry. I'm not saying.
I mean, if we're going by our own tier list, that is
he got caught lacking.
He did get caught lacking. He did, but I don't know, brother. I don't know. I feel like his bag wasn't deep. His bag was kind of ass. He had some charcoal ass ninjutsu and some.
He just got to pull up on you. You know what? I'm probably biased, right? I played Ninja Storm. I'm probably biased.
There's certain characters
in a different light. I remember him in a different light.
Yo,
in Ninja Storm, he is a top 3 character.
I'm about to say. I'll always bang with Kimimaro off of Ninja Storm, honestly. Fucking Ninja Storm 1, Kimimaro was a fucking cheat code.
Yeah, you started bone dancing or something.
The bone dance was fucking ridiculous.
You know, my boy was Donzo. That's
boom!
Donzo was that man in that game, boy.
Alert! I hate this nigga.
Win the bullet, bro. Figure it out. Do what you gotta do. Call your parents. Win the bullet. Close range, long range, full range.
So funny games until
crazy.
I don't want
to. I see who the Cash Kami is now, dog. I'm learning.
That's a try. I don't even want to go down that. I remember that. That was disgusting.
But on the topic now,
him and like the fourth Hokage, like it's just not a good person. Like it's just not a good person.
On the topic, Megumi is a burger follow-up character. I don't think he's a good secondary. I don't think he's the worst, but I don't think he's a good one. And I think in comparison to most, he doesn't hold up very.
Let's hear the stats. Somebody pull the stats.
In terms of writing, I still think
he's written bad, and he's not just a bad. No, I
think he's written pretty well, and I think he's just a bad character.
I'm crying. Oh my god!
Like I personally don't like it. But I can respect where this is going. Like Gege's cooking for real.
Oh my god! it's like I know what you mean, and I can't agree. Like he's well written.
Bring yourself to admit it, but
I don't like him. I just don't care
where we're at right now, and what kind of.
I'll give you. It is weird. Like he kind of grew backwards. Like he 100% UG in reverse.
Yeah,
like he peaked and then like way too early, and then it's just been straight down. Like, for a while.
And to be fair, his trump card has literally never worked every time he's pulled it.
He can't use it. I mean, he can't use it the right way. It's not really a trump card if you die. So if you fucking you're gonna die, it can't be a trump card, really.
It really not. So what do you call it? Like it's just
suicide. It's just mutual suicide. Honestly,
self-destruct button.
You're gonna die. I'm gonna die. Neutral.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't like Megumi as a character either. Honestly, always throwing yourself to death. It's like, come on, give it up. Like,
bro, a classmate, bro. I'm still a classmate. Like
he was about to do it to Toto. He was
bro,
bro.
He was about to do it. You know what? I'm gonna up it. I'm like,
he said, "What you mean?"
Algebra tomorrow at 11:30. Like, I'm gonna see you in class. Like, why are you doing this?
Yo, about to pull the sacred treasure out for what? Like
Toto.
Yeah, that's
Toto. Don't get me wrong, Toto's strong, but that would have been a crazy.
There is nobody that we have seen until the end game that has been strong enough to use
like
There's nobody. There's nobody.
Was just like, oh,
there's a way.
Earlier, he backed out. He was trying to back out Magaraga. Like, what?
There is nobody.
What was his end game? Because he would have killed everyone. His classmate, everyone would be dead.
Yo, he's that nigga that gets fouled on the court and pulls out a gun immediately. He takes a hard foul, nigga reaches for it immediately. It's over. Niggas crashing out the part.
Going in it.
I'm going to the back.
Oh my god, bro. I mean, I think actually, the more I did, everything Jared said is like 100. He's a well written character that just sucks. Like he's just not. Like we was talking about it before. He's just not that nigga. His best feat on paper, like I think his best win on paper is against the nigga who been a sorcerer for like fucking 2 business days. Like this nigga is like he beat Registar, and it was a good use of his bag. I thought his bag usage was cool, but this nigga is like he's barely been a sorcerer, nigga. You are a sorcerer for real. Like what are we talking about? Like that's crazy.
That was a tight fight too. I ain't gonna lie. He was. It
was a tight
win either way. It was close to going left.
That was a big brain fight against a nigga who just became a sorcerer, dog. Oh nah.
He don't even know what he really doing for it. He's just out there pressing buttons, just fighting on your same terms as you. You trained your whole life to be a sorcerer. And
he dropped cars on this nigga in the shit.
Going band for band with you. Just
oh man.
Just everything he pull out the bag he's never seen before. Like it's the first time for everybody.
I said Megumi fucking murdering civilians now. All right.
But I was gonna say, like, I get, everything Megumi's been through right now. I get it's appropriate for him to break down on some degree. But me personally, I'm sick of it already from Yuji.
This is like the
Yuji did it enough for everybody, bro.
Every shonen is you go through adversity, you realize you can make it through it, so you keep going. And nigga goes through adversity, makes it through it, and wants to die.
Now we're getting into friendship no jutsu territory, bro. I'm tired of it.
We
are. Every time we break,
I don't know about that. Hold on.
Breaks down, someone else pulls up. Oh, you can't give up on yourself, brother. Flex. Like, come on, bro. Yuji broke down. Toto pulled up, had to give him an inspirational little talk, get him back on his mode. And now we're going through the same thing with Megumi. I'm kind of over it. Like,
but I mean, came back to life and beat his ass. You just lost everything happened to you.
I was about to say, if I'm being real with you, I don't even know if I could call them motivational moments because he straight up said, brother, niggas die. And we're sorcerers. We gonna die too. So
niggas die every day. And who put a hand out and said it really be like that sometimes.
He said, I know you just genocided 3,000 niggas, but you know what? It's life. It's Tuesday.
There's still people here to say it, like, pull up.
Oh shit. I don't listen. And I know I just said this nigga's a straight up burger, but I don't know, dog. If a nigga just used my body to murder my sister, kill my sensei, and then simultaneously just do all this awful shit to everyone else that I care about, using my powers and body, and I'm watching it, and you fucking dragging my soul out. I don't know, dog. That's pretty rough for a 15-year-old. That's pretty.
What is he, like 18 now?
I get it.
These niggas are 15. This is a shonen. These niggas are sophomores.
It was a time skip. He's got to be at least.
They time skipped 1 month. All this shit. Gojo was locked up for 19 days. So I just want to let's go over the flash. Let's go over the full time span. From when we met Yuji till now, it's been like 6 months. It's been like 6 months.
Niggas been fighting for the Cullen games has been 7 business days.
Yuji might be the most tortured 15-year-old we've seen. These niggas are getting
crazy. They are going through it
he's going
back to back.
In real time. In real time.
I mean, like, man up. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, bro. Like, I get the helplessness. You saw the nigga use your technique better than you.
I got nothing else for you. Like, get this shit together. All right, it's rough.
Niggas losing fights every day, dog. What the fuck? What you mean, dog? You lost my sister last week, nigga. No, I don't know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. The only thing on your mind is that, when I get out of here, I'm pulling up crazy.
You think he getting out of there?
Think about your get back. Worry about getting out of there the second time. That's a different conversation.
Dude, y'all think
Yuji pulled up and Yuji came in there and said, "Yo, it's time to go." And Megumi said, "No, bro."
Man, fuck Yuji. Hold up. Let me be real with y'all. Let me be real. Hold up. Let me be real. Let me be frank. Hold up.
All right.
I just saw the strongest nigga I ever knew get killed using my powers. The fuck is some Yuji gonna do to convince me about shit?
That you just killed the nigga that he gave you the blueprint.
He killed the nigga that cut his face. I don't know.
Sakuna business.
Nah.
Because Sakuna, I think this is a big brain play. Sakuna's like, no, look, I like the 10 Shadow. The 10 Shadows back in the day, they had me back. they went hard back in the day.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna show you something real quick. This is what I call some post work. Pose out. Fundamentals.
Dog. Just knock you around the room.
He traumatized the fuck out this nigga. He said, "Let me show you the worst shit possible ever." Using your body, nigga.
What you make of it? Like this, what you make of it, Megumi?
I didn't even know you could make him that big, bro.
Like,
I didn't even know you could do something like that. What is he doing?
I'm not gonna lie to you, my nigga. You couldn't tell me shit if I just saw somebody kill the strongest nigga I ever knew in front of me. I don't know, dog. You're not telling me shit. You're not telling
all
me
I'm
nothing.
saying is you got to do something, right? Because if you just die, that just means everyone's dead, right? At least if you fight, there's a small chance that we can maybe wait till a real nigga comes around.
Now,
right?
Okay, I don't disagree.
Maybe Maki figures it out, but in that time, maybe
Maki looking like the one. That's what I.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Maki looking like the one. I'm not gonna.
Let's just pray Maki figures something out.
Maki
maybe
like
gets. I don't know. How
are we feeling about the fight?
I am scared. I'm terrified for these niggas.
To me.
Right now, Yuji and Yuta are still in it.
Well,
they're getting, let's just say, folded.
Well, okay, no.
For lack of a better term, they're kind of getting folded. I get the blood technique stuff from Yuji was cool and all, but in the grand scheme, it didn't do much.
It wasn't cool.
I honestly think they're doing better than we giving them credit for, because to say that they got him in the domain and they got him trapped in the hollow whiskey, they got him trapped in the hollow whiskey basket, so they're trying to at least keep him contained. So the plan, it's a good plan. This is the best plan.
He seen through it 3 chapters ago. He knew exactly what they were going to do.
When he first brought it up, he knew like
he think he seen through it. He think he seen through it. He think he saw it. He don't know.
Not worried. The only variable is Maki, right? That's the only real question mark to him is, what the fuck is she really gonna do? Like
an exclamation point.
Well, I think the biggest
touchdown, yeah.
The biggest point that I think that niggas need to consider when it comes to Maki is that she could definitely touch his soul. So that's definitely the biggest fact. The fact that she got the soul splitting katana, and just the fact that she a Toji clone, she could touch his soul. That's just what it is. That's definitely the biggest factor to fight, at least in terms when damage wise. Damage wise, that's how they're gonna do it. I don't know how they're gonna continue to damage him outside of that, because his Yuta just broke the domain, so we saw that his domain at the end of the fight, it cracked open. So that's over with for the most part. So going forward, who's gonna hurt this nigga? It's gonna have to be Maki in some capacity, either tag teaming or just sneak attacking this nigga going forward. I don't know how she sneaks attack him again, but she's definitely gonna be the main one dealing damage. Now, how they, save Megumi after this, I don't know, because she's just hurting him. Pulling him out of there, I don't know.
That is the end, right? Megumi has to get saved after.
He has to. That's the only way to really,
right? Because they still have to deal with Kenjaku's fusing
bullshit.
Yeah. So,
which Sakuna now controls. So that's also great.
That's what I'm saying. He's not worried.
Hands it off the ball.
He's just gonna throw up a gang sign, fuse it up, and then be like, "Oh, there's a bigger problem over there."
So I'm terrified for 2 reasons, right? This nigga Gege said some evil shit like 3 years ago at Jump Fest, and I've thought about it ever since this fight started. He said that someone will be eaten to death by Sakuna. He has said that. He straight up said it. I'm about to pull up the quote right now because I saw it on Twitter the other day, and I saw it get reposted by
eaten to death?
Someone will get eaten to death by Sakuna. And they've alluded to him doing that in the past in the Heian era. Shit, I'm lying. When he took a bite at it, he took a bite out of Angel. Angel's arm is gone. He ate Shorty's arm straight up. Like, he straight up took a bite out of that shit.
That's true. That did happen.
They said he is going to eat someone to death.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Yuta.
Yeah. Not even like the curse? Just straight up Yuta?
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
He's the most relevant in terms of he's the most versatile in this fight, hands down. So he's the biggest factor. If they need to open in the domain, they need him. So that's number one. 2, I would say that I think him tapping into his abilities more and more as the fight plays on. We saw it with Higuruma, right? And we also saw it with Gojo. Fighters, or I should say sorcerers at that top level, especially if they're really like that, they're going to keep expanding and developing. And my biggest fear is that he's going to try to get him out of there for my biggest reason, Jacob's Ladder. He's the only one that has Jacob's Ladder right now on the battlefield that will completely nullify Sakuna's technique and allow them to draw out Megumi completely. So if you consider all those things, you got to get him up off the battlefield. You have to. You got to get him up off of there.
Like, we've seen him kill people already. Why go the extra mile and eat him? Like, will that give him power?
He might get the ability. He might.
Well,
I don't know. Listen, we don't know how Shrine works. Straight up, we don't know how Shrine works beyond the fact that he can add things to it. Because with Maharage, he just watched this nigga.
Oh,
he just watched this nigga. I don't know. I'm not saying he's gonna steal his abilities, but if I wanted,
Maharage?
Okay. All right.
I'm saying no. I'm saying.
Wait. No.
What are you saying, Dad? Let's get feedback. Let's talk about this.
Because what you're saying has some merit. Because Yuta in the domain expansion does use Sukuna's technique, and he says he has that technique because he ate Sukuna's finger.
So we know that mystery is wrapped up. We got that off the table.
So if Sukuna needs to eat his last finger,
he's
probably gonna eat Yuta. There might be some merit to what you're saying, and I think that makes perfect sense.
And then you also got to consider right now, even though I know a lot of us are of the opinion right now that they're not really doing a lot of work against Sakuna, this is the most pressured he's been in any moment in the fight. And it's not just because of what they've done. It definitely has to do with Gojo and all the shit that's happened before this and all the compounded effects of their plan. They had a very well laid out plan, and this is how they got him as weak as he is right now currently. But this is the most pressure he's been. They have a plan, and it is a good plan where they are currently. So I don't think it's beyond reasoning that if he gets pushed into an even further corner, he's just going to do some shit. And I don't just mean in the sense of some sorcery shit. I think we see that he is going to continue to do innovative shit with his sorcery. But I mean on some wild shit because he's from a wild time. I can't see him not potentially. If the opportunity is there where like somebody's guard would be down, bite this nigga. I'm cooking this thing. And if there's a benefit from it, if there's an added benefit where you do, like you said, you take an ability off the battlefield where he can't use it more, or I could potentially take this nigga's ability or potentially take his power onto my own. I'm just not convinced that he doesn't. It's too soon. Even though I know we think it's gonna wrap up, the way that the fight is escalating and they're pushing him into this corner, I just don't think that he's done showing us why he's survived all these fights and these.
So what if he
years?
The idea of him eating somebody to death now, it adds something new. I just thought of now, right? What if it's not Yuta? What if he's going straight Tengen? And what if he's going to like a whole other different realm of power?
There's nothing that says he can't do that. There's nothing that says he can't do that shit. There's nothing that says he can't do anything right now because he's that Nick. Anything is off the table for him. I'm genuinely, this is the first I would say manga in a while that I'm terrified chapter to chapter about what might happen because there's nothing off the table for this nigga. There's nothing.
Period. Like at all. Like he's consistently shown that you can just take people off the board without any actual effort. So
he pulls something new out of his bag constantly. They put in a lot of effort. I mean, you talking about him in
Sakuna.
I think he's
Gojo took the most effort to this point. I don't think they've pushed him as well. Obviously, he hasn't gone.
Higurama made him think a little bit.
Oh, he made him think a little. Yeah. Okay, let me ask you.
He made him. Oh, hold up. Like,
let me ask you.
But he figured it out quick. He figured it out way too quick.
Higurama's bag was deep enough.
Yeah,
that's what it came down to. Yeah. I think to fight a sorcerer on Sakuna's level, you have to have look at Gojo. Gojo was fighting this nigga for like 15 chapters because he just kept pulling shit out of his bag, and he's a genius. So I mean, it's definitely levels to this shit. But the question I want to post y'all is right because now I think we've just seen a lot of different sides of this nigga Sakuna right now at this point in the fight. I think I understand a little bit why they say he's holding back because I don't think it's necessarily power. I just think he's so fucking big brain. He's just not gonna do certain shit if it's not gonna benefit him in the fight. Like this straight up. Like if it's not gonna be useful in that moment, he's just not gonna pull it out until it's useful. That's why I think the whole eating shit. It's like when he ate Angel, when he bit a part of her arm off, it was because he was about to die. They had him all the fucking the crosses and shit was in him, and he just said he pretended to be Megumi and bit fucking half of her arm off on some nut shit. So he's just liable to do whatever right now. But do y'all think that him holding back is him not showing his full strength, or do you think it's just that there's just levels to what he brings to the table?
I think he adds the right amount of ingredients necessary to each battle
to do what's necessary type shit.
Yeah, like when it and it's not like what's necessary as like when he needs it. It's what's necessary is like when he deems it necessary. it's not entirely of like whether his life is at stake or something like that, but when he wants to like flex, like with Jogo, for example, when it was like fire, he was like, oh, we got nice fire. I got fire too. Let's put it to the test. And now he's just like, okay, I have the superior fire, so I don't have to use shit ever again. Type shit. Like,
way with it.
How you feel?
I think he can't access his full back. I think that's part of the limitation of not having all of the fingers and not having full access to it. I think that's it all goes hand in hand. Like, I think we haven't even seen the full Malevolent Shrine. I think
it's more to it.
Yeah, and they've been showing it too. Like, each showing of Malevolent Shrine, you get a little bit more detail of the shrine. And it could be coincidence, it could be intentional, and he's just never pointed it out. But each time there's been more of Sakuna's fingers consumed. They've shown the shrine, right? So like in between each showing, he's gotten more fingers, or whatever version, whether it be the soul, whether it be his full body. It's always been he's gotten more fingers. So I don't think he can access everything until he gets all 20 fingers again.
So he's 19 right now. So if he eats Yuta, hypothetically, you think he has another level of? Do you think it's strength, or do you think it's just like variety?
It's access. I think it's
okay.
However, he got sealed away.
Yeah,
I think his power was split evenly amongst the 20. So he's just unlocking another 20%, or another. It would be like 10%, honestly.
Yeah,
but like 10%, 10%, 10%. He's just adding more and more percentage to it until. Now he's at 90, so he can get 90% of everything, which is why he's not really holding back. It takes more effort to access some of these other abilities, right? Like maybe Fuga isn't possible at one finger, right? Maybe it's only possible at 10, and then that's the strongest move he can pull out, but that takes all of his curse energy. But then at 12 fingers, he can spam Fuga. You know what I mean? Like maybe it starts to build and show his true strength towards the end. That's what I think.
Because when he pulled out Fuga for the first time, that was in Shibuya. So he had like 15 fingers at that point. 15 fingers in Shibuya. So that was like what, 75% of his power, I guess, by the math. And he cooked it. He danced on Jogo.
And that was the most powerful attack in the series up until that.
At that point.
Yeah.
So it's
but he already had cut and dismantle.
But cut and dismantle are like, I don't even
base level of it, I think.
When was the first time he used it?
I mean, he was just using that the whole time.
Yeah.
He was just using that shit.
It wasn't named until Shibuya. But he was doing it. Like every time he would open it.
Because when he fought Gojo in the beginning of the series, he didn't open up with that.
I don't think he tried the box. Time. I don't think he had time to do it. I don't think he had time to go for it.
It's like, do you know who I am? Whoa. Yeah. Like, it's just
nigga got fucking jujitsu'd right there. And then the fight was over.
Jiu-jitsu was crazy.
And then when he fought Megumi, he was just toying with this nigga. He was just throwing this nigga around town.
Needed. Yeah.
Like that. So he wasn't even trying to use it.
And he liked Megumi. He was like, I'm gonna keep you. I ain't going.
You got a cute little power. That's nice.
Right. 10 shadows? Back in my day, I would have been wild. Man, let me just.
I think the first time we saw him use cleave was actually was it Mahito? When Mahito
touched his soul.
Touched his soul, and he cut him the second time.
Yeah.
Does that count though? Because they were inside the soul. Like, isn't he like stronger in that?
Inside, but that's his inner domain. That was the problem. That was the actual issue, was that he touched his soul, which meant he was inside of his inner domain. So if he's taking that lick, that's a crazy lick right there.
That's crazy. He really thought he could just walk in.
I mean, he tapped immediately. After he got touched by that, the nigga folded. Like he was done. I'm logging out. He was done for. If he wasn't a cursed spirit, that nigga was dying right there.
My apologies, original gangster. He was not trying. He was not trying,
That's crazy.
Oh man,
yeah, he got folded immediately. So I mean,
that's the first time that was like 5 fingers at that point.
That was no,
but that's all.
That was like
4 fingers. Yeah, that was
no.
I think it was 3.
It's 3.
I think it was 3 fingers.
But it was an inner domain, so it's a little different too. You're in his soul, basically.
Ooh. There's no accurate way I think to measure this nigga's power, because I still do think that Gojo and him are relative in terms of actual strength. I just think in terms of mastery, the gap was mastery. That's what I think the true gap of that fight was. It wasn't like it was true mastery.
Experience.
He stripped that nigga. He straight up just.
It was all battle IQ. That's what it boiled down to.
I think so.
Gojo was boxing against watered down competition. right? That's really what it came down to. Like he's never had somebody. Well, he's one time he got folded.
As good as him. I mean,
but he didn't get checked enough.
I got beef with Gojo for a second though, because the way he used blue on that cursed spirit, Hamari, was it the flower one? What was the name?
Oh, Hanami.
Yeah. The way he used blue on Hanami, where he put the field of blue in front of him and just walked down Hanami. Do that with purple. That's my do that with purple, bro.
I don't know.
You might be asking for a lot.
I don't know.
You might be asking for some
I'm
shit.
getting creative fighting Sakuna. I'm putting a purple in front of me and stepping. Like it's
you might be asking for some shit that's
you might be asking for a nuke. You might be asking for a nuke.
Like,
he could charge it in front of him. Just walk forward with it. Just with the thing.
That's what you're missing though. If he's shooting a purple, he has no control.
It's not his fault. Let me remind you,
infinite energy. Figure it out.
He got hurt when he nuked the area. He didn't get severely hurt, but when he did the giant purple that killed Maharage and almost boom Sukuna, that nigga his face was all fucking. He was
enough infinity in the world.
I don't know if I'm surrounding myself with some shit like that.
Just forward, bro. I'm just forward. Like
I think.
That might be some 8 gate shit.
I was about to say that might be not living past this one, buddy.
It's over. First and last time for real.
I think the problem was because Gojo's battle IQ is still insanely high. It's just that there's nobody with 2 curse techniques. Who has 2 curse techniques?
So I think I want to fight you there. I don't think his battle IQ is high.
Oh, stop!
I think he's just talented. No. I think there's a difference. I think he's creative and talented, but he doesn't have high IQ. Like he's just out there. He's just doing shit. And my whole point behind this, right? Any good fighter, you've had multiple good fights, right? You've been close to the edge multiple times, and that's what makes you grow, right? He's just trying shit on a whim because everything works for him, right? Until it doesn't. Everything works for Gojo until it doesn't. Until he met Toji and Sakuna. Everything worked until he met those 2 niggas. Outside of those 2 niggas, everything was light. He was the honored one. You can't really touch him.
Done growing.
I got a whole separate side to this. I got a whole separate feeling about this. But what were you saying, Jared?
I was gonna say I think because between that Todo fight and the Sukuna fight, I think had he survived the Sukuna fight and was able to like get pulled out and like given a little time, I think he'd be infinitely stronger than what he was now. Honestly, I think he would be way, way stronger than
you asking for a lot though.
I am. Surviving a fight with Sukuna is not possible.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, we firmly established that.
We have seen none who have done it.
Step 1 is winning the fight.
There's no one who has done it yet.
Inconceivable, but I'm saying if he did.
I agree with that 100%. And I think my thing is that before he fought Toji, even the way that he used the Limitless was very interesting. Because in that fight he had against that dude who had that burger ass ability where he just made clones of himself and shit like that. He was just doing weird shit with physics. And I wish he did more of that actually when he was like fully realized the Limitless, because niggas would not be prepared for that in any capacity if you just started, all right, let me throw this nigga over there and then start doing shit. Like he was doing shit that Law did with his ability for the most part with Limitless without really having to make a room for it. Nigga could just control shit as long as he knew how to move it. So I think his understanding of curse, I think he's a genius. I just think that the difference, like you said, I do think it's experience. It being pushed to the limit, that is a factor. I can't even take away from that. That's 100% true. It is a fact in life. If you're not pushed to the absolute limit in certain scenarios, you're not able to adapt from it. However, the nigga did get killed and came back from life from it. And I think that experience, that getting folded by a nigga like Toji, I'm not going to get into the spoilers that I know about 252. I'm not going to get into it. Right? But knowing what I know, getting folded by a nigga like Toji is not shameful. That is
nobody said it was a shameful experience.
But to come back from that, I think the growth that I don't think we really quite understand how strong he was when he died because there's no one to compare it to. Sukuna was the only person who could compare him and beat him. He killed him. But I think he was definitely on a different level than any other sorcerer at I don't even think Yuta would ever come close to him. And Yuta's the second strongest sorcerer. You know, I don't think Yuta would ever even approach the level that he got to with just understanding how he worked. I don't think so.
I think he would have I think Yuta has better battle IQ. I think the way Yuta fights means that he has to be more. More skilled. He's more skilled. That's what I think it is. Gojo relies a little bit on his innate ability and his natural talent versus Yuta. A lot of it is skill because a lot of his ability is Riku.
I wouldn't say he's more skilled as much as he's more. His ability requires him to be a little more perceptive because not only do you have your own ability, you have other people's abilities. You have to memorize how they work, use them to their maximum, optimal ability.
That's skill.
But so in a different level, Gojo maxed out. Gojo maxed out his set of abilities. Like his domain expansion is wild. His blue, red, purple, wild. Like
but he got over reliant. It's like in One Piece when a character uses too much of their devil fruit and they lack on their hockey and their other skill set. It was too much in one category. You maxed out this category. You should have spread it out a little bit.
It says blue, red, purple, and hands. That's all I'm bringing to the table.
Okay, so you know what? His hands was different. And his domain expansion was actually confirmed better than Sukuna's. We can't, niggas don't want to talk about it. It's actually confirmed.
It's actually Void is nuts. But at the end of the day, Sakuna beat it, right?
He broke it.
He broke it, right? At the end of the day,
choice.
it's all of that stuff is great on paper, right? But in reality, what happened?
Sakuna
I'm gonna walk him down. He didn't walk him down, but
he tricked this nigga. I'll be real. I'm gonna come back a little bit because it's not even. I'm not changing my stance. It is IQ, and I'm not gonna change my stance on everything I said. But I actually do have to. I do think, in a sense, I think the reason why he lost, it wasn't the factor, but the reason why he lost ultimately was the 6 eyes. Because I think he's so perceptive of everything that's happening, and you can't. They said it multiple times before the fight. They kept on, and I think they did it because of the reason how the fight was going to end. They knew it, obviously, but you can't use 2 different curse techniques at the same time. It's impossible to do that. And he had this nigga Gojo guessing the whole fight. Nigga Gojo in the domain, he's getting cut up. He's like, why is this nigga not using his other shit? I don't understand it. Like he's using the fucking 10 shadows like nobody's business. He's doing all this whole shit. Why isn't he? I'm looking out for it. I'm over the shoulder. I'm looking over this nigga Maharaga's shoulder, looking for the slashes. Why the fuck he not doing it? And the whole time it's because he's watching this nigga. Like he's watching the fuck out of. I keep on revealing this fight because every time I go back to it, I'm like, this nigga Gege is, I don't know, man. He might be. I don't want to say no fucking blasphemous shit out of the heat of the moment, but anyways,
yeah.
In that fight, he was using Megumi's ability to watch this nigga from the shadows and observe this nigga Gojo and look for how he could defeat him. That's what he was doing. Like the fight when he sent fucking Maharaga and Agito after him, nigga said shadows and inside of it, and was just like, all right, let me just observe this nigga real quick. Let me just see what he's doing, type shit. He likes to throw the right hand over and over. Let's readjust type shit.
Watch the game tape.
He watched the game tape. Like he still got hit with the right hand, but he figured out it. He figured out everything else.
He did.
At the end of the day, you can't avoid a great one. You go get licked up. You're gonna get licked up. Like at the end of the day, if it's Kobe against Braun, somebody's gonna catch a dagger in their face at some point in the night. Like it's gonna be.
That's what brings me back to my original point that I made 18 episodes ago.
Yo, here we go.
Gojo's a fucking fraud.
A fraud is crazy, dog.
A fraud is crazy.
A
fraud is crazy.
A fraud is crazy.
On out of these fucking hands, nigga. Because Sakuna boxed you out. Why? Because he's smarter than you. He outthought you. He outworked you. That's all that happened. You're a fraud.
That nigga, he did some.
Through it. All that limitless, infinite, blue, red, purple. Bullshit.
That shit was working.
Nothing to a nigga with fundamentals.
Nah. Hold up.
He did not beat him with fundamentals, bro. He did not beat him. He pulled out a gun mid-fist fight, bro. What are you talking about fundamentals? He pulled out an RPG and shot it at the floor, for real.
Real niggas win.
That's
first of all,
what we talked about earlier? Losing mentalities?
If we keeping it a beam. He's not beating him. Nah, He's not beating him without another moveset. If he approached him with just cleave and dismantle, if he approached him with the shine, he's not beating him right there.
Guess what?
He's not beating him right there.
We'll never know because he beat him with that.
He knew. Nah. Listen, we know because the nigga didn't do it. That nigga would not have. He said, "I'm gonna wait."
Right.
Listen,
I have nothing for this right now.
Listen, I've seen Michael Jeffrey Jordan do it. He didn't push. He said, "I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna kick back."
Hey, let me ask you a question.
That's a little. Oh, that's a weak ass head.
Hold up.
Give me that. Steal.
Let me ask you this.
Bucket. He gets.
You ever seen Jordan sit a game so his team could tank so they could get a draft pick the next year?
I watched his general manager do it.
Nah. Did you ever see Jordan tank to get a draft pick?
How they got Scotty? No.
Hell no.
That's how they got Scotty.
Hell no. That nigga was playing for his life.
Every game.
Dog, they had the shot collar on this nigga. What the fuck?
Hey, man. If he was smarter, he could have. Listen, I'll give you the difference. This is Gojo's LeBron. He's got he's got a good career, nice longevity. It's a lot of stats. When you put the numbers on the board, it's hard to deny it. But when you break it down, when it really boils down, when he faced two of them real ones, he lost. Told you.
Dog. So who is Toji? Tim Duncan?
Nah. Because
that's crazy.
That is my question. Who is
Tim Duncan? He is on post moves.
Sakuna is the whole
gun and the sword.
Spurs organization. That's
shit. Greg popped down to the bench, down to Bruce Bowen.
Bruce
Bowen is crazy.
Yo,
man, fundamentally scholar. Because that's what you do.
Nah.
Because you got to really think about it from Sakuna's point of view, right? The very first time he touched down in this time zone, he got Yuji's body. I'm back outside, washed off rip. All right, you one of them ones. Let me study it. I'm gonna study your game.
I'm gonna study your art.
I'm gonna start this matchup for the next time. I got something for you the next time.
Someone open in the corner.
And the next time they met up, it was straight hands.
That is, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I feel like I would give this nigga more credit for the dub if he had tried to like even sneak Gojo in Yuji's body. Like if at some point he was like, I'm gonna fuck with, because I feel like one of the things I love about Shibuya is that he had no idea. He didn't even give a fuck about what Kenjaku and the rest of them was doing. Like they could have told him about the plan at some point before then. They didn't tell him. He didn't want to know. He didn't care.
He had his own plan.
He had his own plan. So it wasn't even a factor.
And I'm just do me.
I'm gonna just do me. But I think even if the fight for Gojo was on the table right there at the taking when he was in Yuji's body with 15 fingers, I don't think he would have fought him. I don't think he would have fought him right there because he would have lost. He would have lost if he fought him right there. I think if he was just fighting Yuji's body in general, he just wasn't getting the job done. Unfortunately,
I think Yuji was not. I think Sakuna wound up in Yuji's body due to circumstance, but that was never really the right environment for him.
What he wanted. He was what he wanted.
Actually, Megumi was there for the finger. Like things could have really turned out left if it was.
He was praying that Megumi
got that. It would have been up.
We would have wrapped this shit up 200 chapters ago if Megumi would have ate that finger.
Yeah, nah.
We would have been better because he would have just been moving real stealthy, different. Oh, okay, I'm here.
Quiet.
Let me eat the fingers. It's over.
Let me just get my fingers and chill out. Because I think man, listen. The way Sakuna handled it is the way you should handle a fight. Especially if you're going against the quote unquote honored one. All right, bet. You got two curse techniques? Bet. I mean, not two curse techniques, but the red and the blue, the limit. You got a lot going on. Bet. You got a lot in your bag. Let me scope it out.
I like that he didn't. Because he definitely did cheat, but I like that he didn't.
He didn't even cheat. He beat him with a pump fake.
No, cheated, dog. That nigga cheated. That nigga is
and banked it off the glass.
Oh no. That nigga stole his pupil's body. He did all kinds of treachery. Nigga set plans for this one fight. Nigga,
get it out the mud.
Get it out the mud.
That's crazy.
Get it out the mud.
The nigga said
two hacks.
A win to win. A win.
That nigga had to trap a 15-year-old in a legally binding NDA to get the dub. Had this nigga sign an NDA while he was drugged. Said, yeah, sign over your body to me, nigga. P. Diddy ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Signed over the ass. Fucking
that's the marker. When somebody says Diddy, that ends the episode.
That's where you gotta stop.
Yo.
Before we get a Rico too. Hey, if you're listening, we have nothing to do with him. I've never met Diddy in my life.
I have never been swallowed up. On God.
That is a demon. That is
I've never,
spirit. Oh no!
I don't produce music. I don't know what that man talking about. I don't want a Grammy or nothing.
I don't pee.
He was in the quiet. Man was in the yams trying to touch some boy's butt. I said, that's crazy, bro.
All right, we'll catch y'all next week.
Catch y'all later.
Let y'all know what y'all think about the next chapter episode.
Dog.